Good to go? You good to go?
Let's do it.
All right, we got A-Cam is rolling. The Frito Cam, as we're calling it, is also rolling. Welcome, everyone. I'd say welcome back. This is the first edition of what we're calling Beach Access. So a lot of you guys very familiar with the road to Paris, and it was popular enough that wanted to bring it here to the AVP, and that's exactly where we are here in Huntington Beach, California, one of my favorite stops of anywhere in the world. Got a lot of meaning to me. This is where I moved out here when I moved to California. And we got the qualifier going on right behind us, and God bless it, I'm not playing in it. Thank heavens for Triborn and Came Shock bailing me out. I'm now just Coach Trav. And sitting next to me as a co-host that I am fired up. We're going to be co-hosting a lot more stuff. All right, I'm just going to dangle that carrot. You'll see that later on the world tour. But I got my good friend, Kyle Friend, here beside me in Huntington Beach. Now, if you haven't watched Kyle Friend and Tim episodes podcast, it's one of our most popular of the year. You can go back and rewatch that one. But for now, Kyle, can you just give a brief introduction?
Oh man, what a guy. I am stoked to be here, stoked to be sitting with the new partner, Mr. Travis Mewhirter on Beach Access. And welcome, like you said, Huntington Beach. This is where I first started playing beach volleyball when I got done with college ball at Long Beach State. I whittled down my way over here to Orange County, and I played a lot of volleyball in the sand. And thankfully, I am not playing volleyball today, as you just said. Tim and I luckily snuck into the main draw, so we are very thankful that we get to play tomorrow. But like Travis said, Kyle Friend, I grew up in Florida. I played college ball out here at Long Beach State, played a little bit of indoor in Europe, and then I've been on the sand for now. This is my 7th year on the Pro Tour.
Wow.
So I've been playing a lot of volleyball. Tim and I have had our best success together as a team. This is our 3rd season pretty much together. A couple 3rd places, and open for more this year. And like you said, Huntington Beach, it's a great place to play volleyball.
Great place. So Kyle's going to be playing a lot of volleyball this weekend. I'll be watching a lot of volleyball this weekend. And hopefully my boys will see you guys in the finals. We can
That would be great.
We'll pencil that in.
Oh, put that in the notebook there. That would be awesome.
So the way this is going to work, and we're going to be tweaking this as the year goes on. So we're open to your guys' feedback, comments, how you want it to look. But as a preview of Huntington Beach, so we're just going to talk about the major storylines coming into it. So for the men, I think the biggest storyline is that this is the most open tournament we're going to see all year on the AVP. So Manhattan Beach, there's no conflict. It's going to be a fully loaded field. Chicago is conflicting with the Elite 16 in Montreal, but I would anticipate it being a mostly fully loaded field, if not 100%. But here, we got a couple teams on a 2-week embargo overseas. They're going to the Espino Elite 16. That's Miles, Partain, Andy Benesh, Trevor, Crabb, Theo, Brunner, and Chase Budinger and Miles Evans. They are gone, which has opened up the field. So Taylor Crabb and Taylor Sander are the 1 seed. Triborn and Kane Shock are the 3. Avery Drost and Phil Dahlhauser are the 2. And Kyle, I think from 4 on down, even through a couple teams in the qualifier, it's pretty much a coin flip.
I would agree. It's a super light, not the right word. It's open field, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, those teams in the bottom 8 can beat anyone, in my opinion. And I think any of those teams can beat the top 3 teams.
Agreed.
At any point. And one bad match, one bad set could really determine someone getting a really good finish here in Huntington Beach. So I think that's why this storyline and why Huntington Beach is so exciting here, especially on the men's side, because it's open. We got those 3 best teams. Thank you for taking a break this weekend. We appreciate that. Go focus on the Olympic race. We love that. We are supporting you. But yeah, the field, it's available.
Open. Now, Kyle, what is your biggest storyline you're seeing? Either men's or women's, your choice.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the women's side, and I think it's the return, like a 2-part, right? The return of the A-team.
Mm-hmm.
Team moms, April Ross, Alix Klineman, current reigning Olympic gold medalists from Tokyo 2020. They're back in action. Maybe they're not at their prime. April just had her kid in October. So
could you call them the A-plus team?
Oh, the A-plus. Because
a couple plus ones.
Couple plus ones on part of the group. So when you play the A-team, you're actually playing a group of 4 because they got them and their kid with them, So it's your odds are stacked against you. But I'm curious to see how they come out and perform. In my book, and I'm sure you can never bet against, Travis has said this on the broadcast before, he's got some small rules on the World Tour. One of them is not to bet against April Ross. And you play in April, you play in Alix, and I think they're going to have a good chance to beat some good teams.
Yep. You can't, the rule that we've established on the road to Paris is you don't bet against goats. April Ross and Alix Klineman, when they retire, they can go to the goat pasture. They're cool. They're hanging out there. But I think really cool bit about that is that last year, Betsy Flint was the only mom on the AVP Tour.
Yeah.
Aurora Davis also was, and she's having twins, by the way. So congratulations to the Supermom of all Supermoms. But now we've got Betsy Flint, is the leading Supermom, April Supermom, Alex Supermom, Emily Day coming back in the field with Zana Muno. That should be a fun team to watch. And as far as my storyline for the women, it's a lot on the A team as well because they've won their last 5 AVPs they've played as a team. Kyle, the last time these two have played in an AVP together and haven't made the finals, can you guess?
Oh, man. 2018?
It's a long time ago. 2018.
Nice.
San Francisco of 2018. So in 2018, Melissa Human-Fredes and Brandy Wilkerson had never been on the same side of the net. Taryn Cloth had never played beach volleyball. Kristen Nuss was still at LSU playing with Claire Coppola. Kelly Chang and Sarah Hughes were not together.
Oh, my goodness.
There's a lot that's changed since then. And so now the power structure and the hierarchy of the AVP on the women's side is changing. So you have two very different looks. From the women, you have sort of a big four, and then you have Betsy and Julia, which I think probably comprise a big five.
Sure.
And then on the men's side, it's just sort of you roll the dice. In semifinals, we're going to see probably at least two men's teams that might not have ever been there before.
I agree.
And so we're going to see new teams on a different kind of stage. It's going to be fun to watch. Now, speaking of new teams, what's a new team you're excited to watch?
So my new exciting team to watch is Lexy Denaburg and Deahna Kraft.
Yeah.
Those two have come together, agreed to mold their both individual skills into hopefully a super team. And I think that they're going to be really good. Lexy Denaburg, the all-time winningest UCLA beach volleyball player.
No small feat.
No small feat, right?
Sarah Sponsel, Nicole McNamara, Megan McNamara, Zana Muno had to beat out all of those for that
A
title.
lot of good players. And I think Lexy's all-around game is exquisite. I think she has excellent transition setting. Her pole digging is one of the best, I think, that we have on the sand. Her ball control is so good for, you would call an undersized blocker, not the biggest blocker out here, but she makes up for it with the ball control and the aggressive play.
Yeah.
And I know those two together, Deahna's got a high IQ, excellent touch, and she's been playing now for a couple years. So I'm really excited to see those two in terms of new partnerships. That's my team on the women's side.
Fun stuff. And Lexy Denaburg also lifts a lot more weights than you do. I guarantee you that. So it might be an undersized blocker, but you put her in a trap bar, watch out.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Now, my new team that I'm excited to watch, and this is a pretty obvious one, my boy Evan Corey and Alison, the Blue-Nosed Mammoth. Is that what we're calling that team?
I kind of like it.
I'm taking it.
Yeah, that's good.
It would make my day if Evan put Blue Nose on Alison.
Alison seems like the kind of guy that would be up for it. You know, he seems like such a nice guy. Get a good partner dynamic to start the year off.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that one. And as we talked about sort of on the drive down here, that Evan, he hasn't played a style that we've seen that would be conducive with Alison's traditional style.
Sure.
Evan's had like a tempo move around offense a lot. Alison, traditional high bump sets. So I'm super interested to see how Evan responds to a little bit of a tweak in game style, but he's been playing behind Wyatt Harrison's block. Wyatt's about 6'4", 6'5". Alison on the Mount Rushmore of blockers all time.
Indeed.
And so I think where Evan has been progressing and transitioning is on the defensive end of things. So I'd anticipate him making quite a lot of strides defensively.
I agree. And this Huntington Beach sand is a bit more shallow than we're used to in the South Bay. So that's going to benefit Mr. Evan Corey, who has absolute thunder thighs, so rock and boosty right out of the sand. And so I'm curious to see how he plays on this sand. But again, the other X factor I think for that team is this wind, right? Yes. With these high sets from Alison, can they adjust? Can Evan adjust? Because I think Evan's going to get more serves, than Alison. And so can he adjust to the setting tempo? Evan's a heck of a volleyball player, and I'm sure he will be able to adjust. So not good for the rest of the field.
Not good for the rest of the
myself.
field. So Jake Urtia, David Lee, good luck in the first round.
Yes.
Now, as for that first round, last section of this little preview is something we're called Get Your Popcorn Ready.
Mm-hmm.
So our the matches we're looking forward to the most. Now, the qualifier is going on right behind us, so we have a smaller selection of matches to pick from. But Kyle, first round, men's or women's, what is the one match that you are most excited to see?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with piggybacking off of Miss Lexy Denaburg and Deahna Kraft versus Megan Kraft and
Terese Cannon.
Battle
of the Crafts.
The Kraft battle. And even more so of a USC-UCLA battle, as those two teams just faced each other in the NCAA tournament. So probably a little bit of angst on the side of Lexy Denaburg as UCLA just came up short, and USC went on to win their 4th national championship in a row.
Back to back.
Wild.
That's gangster.
Wild. But Meg Kraft, Terese Cannon have played a little bit of volleyball together. They did the world champs. They had a pretty good finish there.
Yep.
They know how to play this game at a very high level. Kraft transitioning now from blocking to playing defense, which she does effortlessly, if you will.
It makes me mad.
It's wild. How does she do it?
She makes it so easy.
How does she do it? So that matchup I'm really looking forward to seeing, because I think Meg and Terese could push some of these top 4, top 5 teams, like you said, to the brink here in Huntington Beach. So Lexy and Deahna are going to have their hands full, but I think it's going to be a battle. The Kraft battle.
I do as well. Another element of that is that you got the 2 tallest defenders in the field going at each other.
Yeah.
And so you see the women's game is just getting a little bit taller and taller and taller.
Yeah.
Deahna making her, well, she debuted in defense in Chicago with Tony Rodriguez, so she's displayed an ability to do so. So I'm excited to see that one. As for the men, now especially those who have not been to Denver, I highly recommend you come down and watch Gage Basey and Lars Basey face off against Sean Cook, easily the most entertaining social media presence, and Cody Caldwell, whose social media game needs a little bit of work, but his volleyball game doesn't need a whole lot of work. All right, so you got Sean and Cody, 2 of the biggest arms as a team. I think maybe one of the hardest hitting teams or hardest serving teams we're going to have on the AVP. Then you got Sean, who is like the most high-performing clown out there. And Sean, I mean that as the best compliment.
It's a compliment.
And you know it.
We love you.
And then you got the Baseys, who are just all ball control craft. They're just these silent, quiet killers, the most polite kids in the world. And they just like beat you on ball control. They're not going to beat themselves. And I'm excited for that one because I haven't seen really the Baseys outside of Denver.
Right.
When they're in Denver, you got to get away from them.
You got to stay away. You don't bet on them when they're in Denver. And like I said, the sand's shallow, comparable to what they see over in Denver and the rest of the USA. And like you said, the silent killers, you can't underestimate them. Right?
No.
You got to come in and want to crush them. And I think they're going to come out, be confident. They're in the main draw. What a relief they don't have to play this qualifier. They're going to have some fresh legs coming in, and they're going to be confident. I have to believe they're feeling confident coming into this tournament.
Yep. So they, Trevor, Crabb, Theo, Brunner, your thank you notes from the Baseys are going straight to Espino for dropping out. They got straight into the main draw, so they appreciate your kindness. That'll do it for our preview for Huntington. So we're going to have another Beach Access. It's going to follow the tournament. Me and Kyle will be back here. We don't know where we'll shoot it, but somewhere. We are very open to feedback. If you guys want more information, different kinds of information, just put it in the comments. Shout out to our guy, producer Theo. He's back there. This is the new team that's going to be traveling around. You're going to be seeing a lot more of us. And so we're testing out the team chem. We're working on it. Yep. And Kyle, I'm excited for the rest of the year.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
I am thrilled, and hope you guys are too.
Yeah, well, good luck to you playing.
Thank you.
I hope not to see you.
I hope not to see you as well. Good luck to you coaching in the finals. We'll have to see you at some point. Yeah. The finals would be optimal. And
Kyle, you know how we close on SANDCAST.
Shoots.
Shoots, Rio.
Yeah.